Friday and good conversation. You gotta tune in to Coffee and Conversation with Collette. That's me. Thursday mornings from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on the only station, WHPR TV 33. See you soon. Great, amazing morning to you. So happy to be with you. It is Friday. Did you all know I kind of did that, like the freeze? Wasn't there some kind of challenge where you could just okay, it's too much. It's Friday. You're officially tuned in to Coffee and Conversation with Collette. And I do my curtsy because that's what I do. That's the reverence that I give you because I know that you could be anywhere having a different conversation and you choose to stay connected with us, WHPR TV 33. And whether you are watching us via Comcast or Roku or streaming live, you chose. It's a choice to be with us. And so we appreciate it. We don't take that for granted. Normally our 7 to 8 o'clock hour is with the Son of Man from the New Nation of Islam. Great morning to him. He has some other things that he has to attend to today. So we will not be in his company, but you can definitely look forward to him being back on next Friday. So this time with us this morning is going to be kind of freestyle. And normally, it's just me. But I'm just so fortunate today. See how the universe happens so. I get the hit, the Son of Man won't be in this morning, and I understand and so appreciative of that. And then I get another hit. And the other hit is he's available, he wants to come in. And, you have to understand that when I extend the invitation, it is sincere. It is absolutely for you to accept. And so who knew that I would get the opportunity to sit in this morning with none other than 6'4".
Who knew that I would get an opportunity to sit in with you? Well, that's something. I guess that's how the universe.
So
works,
how did it happen? So you were just thinking about it? You just said, okay,
I said, what? Let me call because I was at the casino buffet eating.
Okay.
And I said, you know what? I got the time.
Okay.
And I got the time to chill. I don't like to do something and got to be rushed. I like to have the time. Mm-hmm. And in that, we could get out a litany of things and discuss what it is that we really normally discuss and really get off into it.
Yes.
So I said, this would be the perfect morning. Let me just call. Let's see what's going on.
Absolutely.
I never just bombard no one's show.
No, you don't.
I said, let me just hear them. If she said, yeah, okay. If not, I'll still just call in.
Right.
And after that, then we get our day going.
See? And there you go. And so now he's here. So, and let me just show you all. See how that happens? Because even with the Son of Man, and we always extend the invitation. Son of Man extends the invitation for everyone to listen to the show. You did listen to his show. Last week you said you listened to his show.
That's what I was going to tell you about.
So, and you were going to be able to tell him. See how that works? Because he would have been here.
Now, check this out, y'all, right?
Okay.
I had my wife, I keep one of my televisions in my house on HPR all day long.
Absolutely. That's what you're supposed to do.
My wife came upstairs. She said, Face, that guy on TV, Son of Man. And I was like, oh, let me finally check this guy out.
Right.
So I watched it on HPR 91, like I always do. And I thought it was like every other show on HPR, very informative.
There you go.
And they were, at this particular junction, they were discussing, him and an attorney was discussing the Constitution.
Mm. The United States Constitution.
The United States Constitution.
Okay.
And I looked at about 30 minutes of it before I had to go do what I do. But I thought it was informative. And my wife said, well, Face, you going to call in? And I was like, well, no. Because when you're right. See, when a person is right, y'all, they don't need your version of right.
Ah.
And that's what I said, he's right. The attorney is right. The flow is going right. I don't want to call in and be like, well, man, because even though he's right and I may be right, by me stating my type of right, you may see something wrong with his right.
Right.
And he's right.
God. So did y'all get that? It's like in the church when the preacher, you have a guest preacher and they come up and they speak and then the pastor comes up and they always tell you, you don't have to speak after him. So if you agree to the message and it is what it is and you say, okay, everyone pass the collection plate or whatever they're gonna do, right? After the conversation. So And I just want you to know that that's the kind of energy that we have here. When individuals extend the invitation to you and it's open to you, then that's what you should do. You should partake of it.
Oh
And
yes,
so,
yes,
therefore,
yes.
that's why you're here. And so, we want you to be here in spirit as well. Let me give you the numbers 313-868-0342 or 313-868-0351 or 313-4336. So those are the call-in numbers. You all should know them by heart. And so we can get ready for the conversation. So there's several things that we're going to bring in today. And of course, since it's Friday, I'm going to allow you to throw out some topics as well, because there could be national topics that you want to talk about, international topics that you want to talk about, local topics that you want to talk about, whatever you like to talk about. We're going to delve into that today. How's that sound?
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Well, let me pose this right.
Okay, sure. Let's do
Okay,
that.
since now we got the water shutoffs going on.
Yes.
We have a plethora of things
That are
that's
happening.
designed to shake up our spirits.
Yes.
It's designed to shake up our mental stability, to knock you off your game. But you got to be stronger than that.
Yes.
You got to know that you have to do things in your life that prepares you for the battle.
Ah.
I'm looking at water shutoffs, and I'm about to go to a water shutoff.
Right.
But, we had the 1,200. That's what I paid. That's
So,
what they
did
wanted.
you wait? Okay, so look, and let me just tell you, and of course, you all have seen in the news about those shutouts. We're referencing, we support Michigan Chronicle. I'm reading this is my copy of the Michigan Chronicle, because there's more than one way to get news, and so it's important for me every week to get the Chronicle. And on the cover of the Chronicle, it talks about water shutoffs pose serious risk to public health. Okay, so I want to set the context of what we're discussing. And so you just stated that you had a $1,200 water bill.
Well, that wasn't the bill. That's what they wanted to keep my water on.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, they extorted me.
Oh.
Yeah,
Just
Gary
like that,
Brown
they
extorted
said.
me. Yeah, well, give us this 12, man. Now, here's the thing.
Okay.
I have children.
Yes.
And this is why I tell people about your individual accomplishments. Because of my individual accomplishments, I was able to shut them up. Because I need flowing water. I wasn't about to go through that. I ain't paying this. It's my right.
Right.
No, I know it's my right.
Right.
And we going to get recourse.
Right.
But because we have the blessing between me and my significant other to pull this thing through,
Yeah.
our children going to drink, we going to take baths, and we're not going to interrupt our daily way of living.
Yeah.
Because Gary Brown is trying to be extortionist number one.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and calm this beast.
Right.
Because my son I like hot showers.
Right.
And I like to run that boy as long as I feel. So
That's why
I
they wanted
pay for-
12. That's
I
right.
pay
That's
for
right.
my convenience.
Right.
But even at what I use it at, it was never like that.
Okay.
We all know that when it came to that water bill, they hit you with something that you didn't have in your pocket.
Yeah.
You had a amount that was over 1,000. Anybody that is poor, $1,000 is a lot of money.
Wait, let me just. Poor don't have nothing to do with it. $1,000 is a lot of money, period. And no matter where you are. But let's stay there. But we came off the conversation yesterday with Jay-Z, the story of OJ, in which he tells us. But what does he say? Black, light, dark, poor, faux. That's the context. Is that it still impacts you.
That's right.
Because of the color of your skin. But so let's go someplace deeper. And whereas I appreciate the advocacy that we've consistently had with our water, but does it seem like there's a step that's missing? So we sit and we protest and we consistently have these conversations, and the narrative is still the same and the action is still the same, and what? And hear me, I don't want everyone to say, oh, Collette, now you're down in the right. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying that at some point, is there another step that's needed so that we have some kind of remedy to this thing versus, okay, you get this bill and then you can't pay it and now it's an injustice because they're going to shut the water off.
It is a lot of steps that's missing.
Okay.
Because, even with this great article, a lot of our favorites is on here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to call out everybody's name,
Yes.
but I see a couple of people who I dig on this.
Yeah.
The thing of it is people have to get proactive. And proactive meaning that if we, the people, form this government for the people, by the people, and it's for the people, then it is incumbent upon us to get into that forming.
Ah.
And what I mean by that is this. We could help each other.
Sure.
Easy. I know a brother named Mark Anthony who does if you donate $3 to his booth, he'll give your child a toy of his choice.
Okay.
And what he does with that is he got a pocket of young men and young women on the east side who he takes that money and he goes and puts it on their bills.
Okay. Wow.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's like
how
Robin
much you
Hood.
need your
It's
bill.
like the whole
And
concept
it's,
of
man,
Robin Hood.
I need
Right.
40 on it. Well, man, I got
Yeah.
you 40.
Yeah.
And he told me, he said, 6 is not a lot,
Right.
but it's something that I can do. People, and when I tell people what I'm doing, they'll give me 20. And then they say, brother, I might need you one day.
Say
So
it.
I looked at his model,
Yes.
and I said, this is nation building.
Yes.
This is how we take care of each other.
Yes.
We come up with our own plan of doing things.
Yes.
Every neighborhood, every enclave
Right.
have their own somewhat governmental stability project
They should.
where they stabilize the government around their local area.
Yes.
Your 3, 4, 5 block radius.
Yes.
And what we do is we collect the money, whatever it is. If it's a donation for a coupon, just do something where, because those little dimes and pennies add up.
Add up.
You don't have to come through with thousands and thousands.
But you
All it
can,
takes-
though, if you got
you
it.
can.
Like, right, if you got it.
We take it.
Right, right.
But I tell people, the poor dollar is the most consistent dollar,
Yes.
because that dollar is always being spent.
Yeah.
So if we could stop that and put it in the right area, we had the money for phone bills, water bills,
Well, we'll stay
light
there.
bills,
So stay there.
and
So
forth.
sis, stay there, because I know in callers we see you. So let me just say, I already know what one of the challenges is and what's going to be our. Because I thought about it last night. I thought about it all through our show yesterday, because I didn't get the response that I wanted to get from you. I said that I didn't get the response from you all that I wanted. I was, well, I'm gonna wait to see if I get that response today. But in my thought, I said, what are we missing here? You know why? Because we haven't been trained to win with people that look like us.
Yes.
Now let me just say that again. We have not been trained to win with people that look like us. So when I say that, it is the great program that you just created. You just identified,
Yes,
okay?
yeah, exactly.
We don't assess that as, oh my gosh, that's something that's great for us. It'll work for us. We can implement it for us, and just roll with it. We say, oh my goodness, why are we giving him the money? Why he got to get the money? Is he going to take the money and go buy a car? Or is he going to buy some clothes? Or how do we know that he's going to give the money to the program? We have all these questions for somebody when it looks like us. But then when other people that don't look like us, who never created a plan that's to benefit us, then we don't question anything. So I'm going to go back to the whole concept of President Obama. Everybody had something to say about President Obama's presidency as black folks. He didn't do enough. He didn't do this. You all had never had a black president in your life before. And all the other presidents, even though some of you think that Clinton was a black president because he could play jazz, but you never questioned anything else that any other person in the president position presented to us, had the conversation about. We were most loud and critical about President Obama. And then you don't hear anybody. Trump is tearing it up. You hear me? And you don't hear anybody talking about anything. And we still are back to this same posturing that does not get us any forward movement. So whether we take the energies from the church, 6-4, and the monies that we raise on Sunday for the building fund and for the capital improvement fund, and say, good, guess what? We're going to go and bring your bills to this church, and we're going to give some folks in this church these monies from this offering, and it's going to go to our community.
It's like the churches have a problem with direct benevolence.
Oh, wait.
You know,
wait. Did you all hear what he just said? Direct benevolence.
That's right.
So
that means I'm going to personally see. I'm not giving my money to no organization. I'm going to personally see to it that you got that. And that's where a lot of these philanthropic organizations go wrong at. They just give the money to these people and say, well, I gave to this foundation. Well, that foundation ain't been to the hood. That foundation ain't reaching the right people it needs to reach. Y'all just funneling money until y'all find out what to do with it. Don't play with me when it comes to I donate. No, you donated to your best friend's fund because y'all want to one day extort that fund. Said it was for poor people, and it ain't for poor people because poor people, of all the damn programs that's been for poor folks with money, why we still poor?
Well,
because y'all ain't doing it right. Y'all giving it to these extortionists and these money launderers under these corporations and these organizations, these 501c3s, all these 501c3s, yet people are still going through low housing and no housing.
Sure.
That's because they full of it. I like to practice direct benevolence because direct benevolence tells the individual that I'm with you for real. Let me tell you about these pastors. That's their money.
Of course.
That ain't your money. That ain't the church's money. That's his money. And he will go to that Bible because a pastor showed me where Paul said, I communicate to you, you communicate to me. And I said, well, what is he saying? The pastor said communicate means to give back in the Greek. So now you done laid these people out to believe, give everything to me and expect nothing of me. Shame on you, pastor, whoever you are.
Well, let me just say.
To drain your parishioners like that financially and not have some kind of direct benevolence fund set up so your people could say, because of my church. See, that's where the power come from. That the sister said, I'm this and I'm doing that because of my church. Not that they gave me the pie in the sky dream.
Yeah.
But this pastor, like over here at Unity and Faith, he practiced the benevolence. That's how I met him.
Okay.
He was out helping people.
Yeah.
He didn't go to gleaners where sometimes the food is insufficient, but y'all giving it to our seniors at a high rate, just giving them all the junk. Apples got mold on it, pears got mold on it, the stuff is old. He said, I don't want that because the seniors don't want that. They just taking what's available. He said, let's go to these people and find out their diets. Some of these seniors got diabetes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go to that senior.
Yeah.
Brother, sister, what's your diet?
Yeah.
Well, what could we do to assist that diet so we can keep you alive?
Yeah.
Because through food you can eat to live.
Yeah.
But you go to gleaners and you go to Forgotten Harvest, which we appreciate the help. But when you get these baskets, and I've seen it because I'm in the Coney Gardens. The Coney Gardens is still one of the highest populated senior areas in Detroit to this day. It's so much knowledge in the Coney Gardens with those seniors. Ms. Love, who's an activist over there, they have a history in the Coney Gardens that I refuse to let die.
Very good.
And because it's seniors over there, I notice how these churches get over on these seniors with less than goods. And instead of saying, listen, we are a church who generate $20,000 a month.
Yeah.
Who in our congregation starving? Who in our congregation needs rent paid? Nobody. Not at 40,000 and 2, 12,000 and 3.
So you saying something. Look, I'm going to add to that. I'm going to give you this quote, and I gave it to everyone yesterday.
Give me your church.
I'm going to give you, you know, this church right here. Look, quote, America has been the best country on earth for black folks. It was here that 600,000 black people brought from Africa in slave ships grew into a community of 40 million, were introduced to Christian salvation, and reached the greatest levels of freedom and prosperity blacks have ever known. And I shared that with you all yesterday. That was from Pat Buchanan, conservative political commentator. But did you get the essence of his narrative? His narrative is saying, what is he? And it's the church. It's our Christian salvation that was the best thing for us, that rallied us in from our savagery. We were savages, and rallied us in to give us some structure and to give us the wealth that America has given us based on their model. So again, we don't have a model for success. We model our success based on what they say. So the truth is, where we're so appreciative for those who have that nonprofit collaborative, it's not us. It doesn't look like us. I talked to you all yesterday, and I had a problem with the 6-4. And I didn't have I have a problem with it. There's an organization that has committed $5 million to this area off of Central by Central High School. Mm-hmm. They want 12,000 volunteers. They want to hit 300 city blocks. And when you ride through that area, they're having an initiative from July 31st through August the 6th. And you ride through, and just out of the 1,000 people that were the volunteers with their shirts on, 99% of them were white. Off of Linwood, 12th, 14th, Glendale, you all know the whole story. And so we have these people who are saying, you know what, we got to help make their community better. And so everyone that comes to help make our community better doesn't look like us.
And
so you got two folks. So then you got us that's sitting on the porch watching them do it. So we had some people that are like, okay, but we're not out there doing it.
I didn't know something was wrong. What are they doing out there?
Right. So if my grass is high, that's okay. If the trees and everything, abandoned buildings, that's fine. If there's dirt and paper on the ground, that's fine. So it's twofold. So you we complain that the neighborhoods aren't getting anything, that we're not getting the monies that we need, but then we don't do with what we have. And then though when someone establishes something that they can get the money that says it's going to help us and they're doing it, we got a problem with it. I just got a problem. And let me just say for clarity, because I got some people who gave me some pushback in college. We're about to get to all of you. I got people that gave me pushback. I believe we don't need anybody to come in and save us. Right. In our neighborhoods, if we can't keep our neighborhoods clean, something is fundamentally wrong with us. There's a disrespect that we have for ourselves that I don't have a problem with just throwing trash out the window, and that's okay. Yes. And I'll give you one more example before I let you chime in. So I'm outside. I'm over at my mom's house. She lives in the historic district. The neighbors, I'm walking the dog and doing my thing. The neighbors come. All the leaves have come off her tree in the front of the house. I don't know, early whatever's happening with nature, okay? So the neighbors come up and say, oh, well, people know if all these leaves are around. Now, her house is the only one that all these leaves are down, right? If all these leaves are around, then your mom must not be on her job because she always keeps her yard together. Now, mind you, all know when I got off the air yesterday, I had on a dress, I had on everything, whatever. So I'm outside. I said, oh, I got y'all. So you thought you was going to say something to me, and I was going to first of all, I'm not going to let this. That's just not what we do. I had the dress on and the heels, and I got the rake and the shovel, and I bagged up 4 bags of leaves out there in the hot sun and didn't break I broke a sweat. But while everybody was waving and graying down the street, you thought I was just going to let that go? I'm not going to let that go. It doesn't make a difference.
See you, sister.
Yeah, I see you, sister. Yeah, because because if not, you all would have gone back and told my mama that I wasn't keeping her house together. I know how y'all do. Come on, y'all. Leaves. So if I can take the time, you all can take the time to rake. Remember, you can rake your street. People don't even sweep the streets no more. They don't rake the yards anymore. We don't. Nope. But maybe that goes back to ownership. So we don't own it, or it was given to us. So maybe it was Big Mama's house, and then she gave it to us, and then we don't understand the value in the ownership because we just don't take care of it. And then when other people come in to take it from us, or we lose it, and then we get mad, and then everyone wants to say they took our houses away from us.
That's that conversation that people need to have with each other in their homes, because that is like the irony of it all sometimes when we out here pushing good things, is that we see our people doing stuff that's pushing against it. Mm-hmm. And I tell people, when a person moves out of a house, I guarantee you that house didn't break its own window. I guarantee you it didn't spit out its own metals. Sure. Somebody went in there. Somebody threw a brick through that window. Sure. We have a messed up, I'm just going to say it, some of our moral compasses are so messed up that it almost makes me want to roll with Trump sometimes. But I love us too much. But let me tell you this, you got to teach your child. Yeah. Mama, just because daddy ain't there don't mean you got to be absent-minded. Yeah. Still be a strong thinker. Yeah. You teach them kids to respect other people's property. Yes. So when they walk down the block and they see the vacant house, they don't get an idea to throw a brick through the window because that's fun.
Thank you.
You see, that house could be vacant and still look good because ain't nobody in it.
Thank you.
It's the people outside of that house that made that house go down. So if I'm in the city government and I hear this cry about dilapidated homes in our community, and I'm a thinker, I'm going to say, well, it didn't dilapidate itself. Why didn't y'all think about that? Before y'all allow, who seen the kids taking a leak on the side of the house and didn't say nothing? Yeah. Who seen the guy robbing it for its precious metals and didn't say nothing? You. Right. So you deal with what you let go on. Right. In Warren, Michigan, they have more vacant homes than Detroit. But you don't know that because the citizens on the block said, my house look good, his house look good, this one is going to look good. And them two got together, believe it or not, and said, let's keep it.
We're going to cut the grass.
You mow it Friday, I'll mow it Sunday. You mow it Tuesday, I'll mow it Friday. They somehow, these two human beings, just like you and I, were able to come together and make a general consensus that we're going to keep this house. Yeah. See, that means that you got to get out of your comfort zone and stop being afraid to address the problems that you directly see, because that's what's going on. You have a lot of older folks who is afraid to talk to these people because their parents ain't taught them to respect grown folks.
Well, two folks.
It work like that.
So stay right there. And I believe that that is a component.
Yeah,
But I
I
also
teach you to
believe
respect the grown-ups. So when
absolutely
Collette tell you, hey, don't throw that rock through that window, you say, I'm sorry, Miss Ramsey.
right.
You
I
were right.
won't.
You don't
Right,
say, F you, Miss Ramsey. You can't tell me nothing. You ain't my
Mama.
mama. You taught your kids that attitude.
Ah,
You taught your kids the stankness that they provide to this community
yeah.
because that is what they're giving us from the home. Your child is a product of the home. So if you got the type of child that when they walk up the street and they drink their bottle of pop and the first thing they do is bust it down
Yeah.
because you a bust down parent. You ain't never done nothing to bust down that mentality that your son has. You have allowed your children to grow in a mentality that is not healthy for them, nor the community or the nation around them, which is why we see blight. Blight don't make itself.
No.
We can control blight from this offset,
Yeah.
but too many people ride past the field talking about how it needs to be cut
Right.
instead of cutting the
Oh,
dang gone field.
we're not gonna cut the field, and the church is located across the street from
Yeah.
the field. So we
Look, the pastor don't do it unless he get a grant from the city. Pastors act like they can't move unless they get grants. Fool, you getting thousands a week. You should be the hardest worker in the community with that kind. You know, if I can let me get $4,000 comfortably a week. Do you know what I would do for my
Well,
community?
let me just say,
Oh.
it don't even have to be $4,000. Because if you look at every block, if you got a church on every other block, and if you average if you could average 50 people. So I'm just saying, just 50 people who give $25 to $50 a Sunday, $100 a Sunday. With 50 people, that's a nice little hustle. I'm just
right,
saying,
man.
and we're not saying, hear me, and I'm not picking on pastors. I don't want to hear that either. I'm not picking on pastors just to pick on you. Because I thought it's supposed to be a higher charge. I thought you were supposed to take a higher level of accountability and responsibility if you're supposed to be shepherds of flocks and people. Do you ever wonder why it's so hard for people who live in a community and you have a church to get the people to come to the church? In the community. Have you ever noticed that?
Yes.
You ever wonder? So for all you out there who call yourselves in a leadership position in the church, do you ever wonder why it's so hard for you to get the people in the community to come to your church? Because the majority of the people who attend your church don't live in the community.
Isn't that something?
It's because they don't see you doing anything that actually benefits what you say in that pulpit.
And it's not
I
benefiting
promise
them.
you, if you open up those doors and had a community day where you're out cutting the grass, where you're actually talking to the people right where they are, you're not throwing the Bible at them, you're not throwing condemnations at them, you're not throwing judgments at them. If you're just having a conversation, if you're meeting people right where they are, maybe that's when they'll engage you. And then because of that, then there'll be pride in the community. Don't you think to know that people do more by what they see than what you say?
That's right.
What you do is the catalyst, not what you say. You can just be quiet. You don't have to say anything, but you're out there doing. People see that. They respond to it. Let's get ready to go to the lines.
Go ahead.
Okay. We appreciate your patience. It's Freestyle Friday. You're on with Collette and 6'4". We're going to turn your phone down a little bit because we can hear the backlash from it. Great morning to you. Are you
Good
there?
morning.
Good morning.
You know, young man, when you came on and you said the thing about Son of Man, and you said, as your wife said, not to call in, because I truly agree with a lot of things you said. The only thing I can add to the conversation is a historical view of what you saying. When I say historical, I think I told you, Collette, that
Yes.
I have 3 generations here in Detroit.
Yes.
Because you resurrected, I said, wait a minute, when did my people come here?
Mm-hmm.
Then I had to go back, and I said, so my sister was born in 1936. I'm not just giving and my father had to be at what age, and he had parents that was here before then.
Wow.
So I said, okay, let me get to understand why things are what they are.
Okay.
And when you talked about ownership and houses, I said, there was another program that came on of Hood Research. 2 guys said, at Outer Drive, I think it is, or the Boulevard, the rest of that was country. I mean, they said, it wasn't, it was a while before Detroit grew to 140 square miles. And so you have to put that in your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And then what a different neighborhood. You go and if you really drive around Detroit, okay, the thing that what makes it unique or made it unique from other cities in the country, instead of being a one-employer town,
Okay.
this was a four-employer town.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
okay, you want to say four? I'm going to say General Motors,
Yes.
Chrysler, Ford, and American Motors.
American Motors.
Okay, where were they at?
Okay.
Okay, and then when they were built, though, if the country was there, they needed a workforce.
Yes.
So they built. They put together a development person that says, okay, one of their friends most likely,
Okay.
or banks or whatnot, and they said we're going to build houses on this stretch of land. It was given to them by the city, or whatever they purchased it. Was nothing there.
Okay.
Now, what was the result of that? Now, who made money? That's when people started looking at which. The banks made money because now you had a 30-year mortgage, and those people didn't intend to stay.
Right.
So if you look over in the Plymouth area, okay, so he know that Coney Gardens. There are areas in Detroit which black people stayed. Not only on the east side, they stayed. They were here, and they are still here. Now, you wonder why, as the parents get older and the children, we have a history that your children can't live here. They got to go other places to make a living.
Sure.
I mean, the house
you're
gets
right.
smaller.
You
There's
right
no
about that.
opportunities here.
Well, so wait, stay right there. Let's stay right there. Let me just add this out here. My dad always said, "You can go everywhere." We were fortunate to have was fortunate to have a different educational experience. So went to an Ivy League school. He said, "Now you can stay out on the East Coast, or you can go out west where everyone has a similar pedigree, or you can come home and make something here." He said, "In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king." Let me give that to you again.
That's right.
In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. So either I can go and be this hamster on this wheel with everybody else with the same blue and gray and black suit every day, push the same papers, think you're making six figures and you live in the American dream, or you can come home with an experience and create something different for yourself. You all will find here that there are people who are in leadership roles, and I don't take anything away from the people in leadership roles, but the truth is they haven't had any other experiences because they've never left here. So when you have someone that shows up and you think that they're the savior and they have all these ideas, they ain't that smart. They just had a different experience and they could bring it here and you all would listen to them. We tend to have stayed here. So you grew up here, you went to school right in this Michigan region. The same people knew the same people, so you all became employed for the government, for the county, for the same company. And then that is what life has been here. But I promise you that if you are committed to saying, I want a different narrative, you can be successful. This man right
That's
here
right.
owns 2 or 3 companies, in addition to being a recording artist. And no one says it's easy. And everything else it has to do to take care of a family, but you're actively doing it and you're doing it your way. It's a mentality that we have to have.
Your way.
Your way. And no matter what that looks like, you understand the system, but you make the system work for you. So we got to get outside of what they're going to give us. If we stay
Exactly.
stuck in what they give us, we'll never be successful.
Never.
It won't happen.
Dr. Clark said it best. Everything you use and touch must be a tool of your liberation. And even with homes,
Yeah.
you could manipulate that property so much.
Yeah.
See, home ownership is bigger than paying a mortgage. It's bigger than that.
Yes.
That's just I would say the mortgage payment is probably maybe 10%
Yeah.
of owning a home when you know what you could do with that home. I know people who got homes and they just flip them every year.
Yep.
Every year they sell them to a bank or they get rid of another one and get another one to do it again. They using homes as a way to get $50,000 instantly because
Yes.
once you buy a home, and let me just put this out there for you who got $2,000-$3,000 in your pocket.
Say it.
Go to the county. Get you a home. I don't care if it's dilapidated. It's worth the same amount of money as every fixed up home on that block.
Right.
with no
Location,
doors on
right,
it, it's still worth
location.
$50,000.
Yeah,
You think
location.
because the windows busted,
Yeah, no.
it's gutted, it ain't worth nothing. No, the mortgage company is still going to value that home at the amount at every other home on that
Yeah.
block has.
Yeah.
So in an instant, your credit rating could shoot through the sky because you took $1,500 and went down to your, and see, it's how you do things. You can go get a mortgage,
Yeah.
or you can go to the county and buy a house.
Yeah, or it's there right there. And you don't even have to go down to the county. You can go to the land bank. If you go, it's called buildingdetroit.com. I'm giving you this tidbit right now. You go to buildingdetroit.com. They have auctions, they have purchase as is, and there's one that they've rehabbed. So you can go and it lists every day the properties across this city in different areas that are coming up for auction. It starts at $1,000, and they show you. You click on past auctions, and it shows you what houses have gone for.
Man, let
You
me tell you, I
guys
mean to cut you off. Let me
Yeah.
tell you what the people who lives in Jackson, Michigan,
Yeah.
who owns the home next door to me, that I was trying to get that the city for some reason they just couldn't get it together.
Right.
But the little white guy asked me, he had a stack. He said, "Man, I paid $10,000 and this is all the property. Where's these streets?"
Thank you
And I'm looking at all these.
for $10,000.
Man, he had
He
like
paid probably
30
$500
different
for
pages
Yeah.
of properties.
Yeah.
He said, "I only paid 10. They gave them to me in a bundle."
Yeah.
This is what he told
They're
me.
doing bundles.
I
Yeah.
said, "Wait a minute. He got at least 30 sheets of papers with addresses on them for $10,000. Stupid city council, whoever you are. Dumbest thing since Chicken Little, my mama used to say.
Stop.
Here's the thing. We more stupid for not taking advantage of it.
And that is so stay there. That's the point in all these conversations, you
I
guys.
couldn't believe that.
We're not going to we give you examples on this show. That's my goal here, to educate, enlighten, and empower. We give you examples not to show you so much of how great they are, but to show you what we can do. Housing is what it is exactly. You don't have to be up under a mortgage. You can buy a house right now for $2,000.
That's right.
You can buy a house for $2,500.
You just can't buy the house you want. You want a mansion.
Right now, you ain't never lived in a mansion, don't understand the responsibilities of a mansion, but you want a mansion. But you can buy something like a mansion now for $5,000, $10,000. All we're saying to you is, and no matter where you are, we have the opportunity to meet you and make it better for you. So you imagine, no matter how rough your financial times get, if you own a house free and clear, you don't have to ever worry about where to lay your head. Yeah, you got to maintain the taxes, but it's easy trying to put together $200 or $300 a month so you know for your taxes, versus you got a $800-900 mortgage and you got to add the taxes and you got to add everything else to it.
Or do like the suburbanites, just let it go into default, then 9 years later go make another deal and keep your house.
Say that. I'm just saying. Or if you're underwater in your house right now, see, we get attached to stuff. So it's our house and we put all this into it, and that's what it is. And then the house next door would have gone up for foreclosure, and whereas you might be underwater $100,000 for your house, the house next door is going for $10,000.
Yep.
And you will not forego paying that mortgage to save that money for 5 months to be able to buy that house free and clear 2 houses down from you, because this your house and it's attached to you and you're underwater, and then you'll lose out on that deal and you'll lose your house too, because that's just what we do. That's just what we do. So, caller, we appreciate you. I want to get everybody in this morning. He gives a point. It's a mindset. Thank you so much for your patience. Great morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am so enjoying the two of you.
I'm still
Such an educate to liberate.
Yes.
I love it. My question is, once if you can buy a house free and clear, are you under a certain limit of time to get that house up to code so that you can start, making you a good investment as well? That would be my question.
Let me say this. Unless nobody is in that house, you don't have to get it up to code, because no one is there. Here's what people do. They buy these homes and they go right to their bank and get money. They don't care. They just, look, I got the home, I got the deed, give me my $50,000.
Right.
And then the bank say, okay, thank you. And then that
Okay.
guy still owns somewhat, maintains ownership of that.
Yeah.
So he can go back and renegotiate again.
Right.
So that's why I say we got to look at property in a different attitude more so than
Right.
just what we're
Right.
going to
And
rent it
that's
out
why
for.
I'm so
I tell
enjoying this
people,
show
do like the
because
people.
you're definitely educating the liberators.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You get it. If you don't
Amen.
do nothing but buy it and hold on to it and just every
Uh-huh.
year get a loan on it. Use your
Okay.
home as your place where you go get some money. I need
Right.
10,000. I got a home.
That's what it
I
is.
need
Okay.
3,000. I got a home. Instead of, oh, I need 3,000. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? No, get you a home. That home you bought for 1,500 is worth 30,000.
Thank you.
Okay.
Learn
I
how
was
to
think,
use your property. That's
Yeah.
all. Learn that's it. You know, Sylvia, a lot of times we are only taught the back end of things. Just like with banking. I don't bank, I do the credit union thing.
Right.
But if I did bank, I know how to bank.
Yeah.
Banking is bigger than just depositing your money.
Yes.
There's products in that bank that
Yes.
you can really amass
Yes.
some wealth
And
off
it
of,
should be
you know?
in the credit unions now too. So, but
Oh,
see,
yeah,
and,
it
that,
is in
and
the
that's
credit
and that's a
unions,
challenge
yeah.
that I have now with some credit unions because they're trying to see credit unions are supposed to be another option for you that was
For the
more
people by the
lenient
people, yeah.
than the bank. But now these credit unions are trying to function like a bank, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're not supposed to be a bank. You're not.
That's
It's
right.
not supposed to
That's
be.
right.
Your lending practices are supposed to be different. Your opportunities for your folks are supposed to be different. But that's the business of finance that we're missing. But when you have an asset, and I just implore you all to say this question: if indeed you don't even, if you're not prepared to get into pulling out the revenue from the house, just own the house.
That's right.
Do you all own the house? Like, so the house that you live in right now, do you own it? And I'm not talking about still paying a mortgage on it. I'm talking about, do you own the house? Covenant deed, free and clear. Your name is on it. You own it. Period.
That's where we need to move to.
That's what we
where
need
you
to move to.
Or learn how to manipulate it. Don't get
okay.
so
I
attached
need
to
to
it.
add to the conversation.
Sure.
I wanted to add that we used to be a village. Remember when we used to have the quarter parties? We even have a bartering system where somebody would babysit, somebody would do your hair, somebody would do your lawn.
Yeah.
You know, so I think we need to get back to that. And it's sad that our churches no longer educate to liberate. And then we even used to have our own little group clubs where we would put money together and save it for a year and do something for someone in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so we need to get back to that. But just what you guys are teaching now, we need some town hall group meetings where we teach people about investment. When you
Yes.
talk about trades, investment would be a trade that we need to learn about. Financial literacy.
Yes.
Those are the different things. So I think right now, the way we having a conversation, we're talking about solutions right here and now.
Right.
And so I would love to see, and if I find up or run up on any of these information, I will share it with the airways as well.
Yes.
Because education in the right places will set us free.
Yes.
Thank you for taking my
Yes,
call.
thank you so much.
thank you for
And
calling,
that's what
Sylvia.
it's about.
Yeah.
She's absolutely right. Education in the right places will set us free. That's what it's about. Understanding what's happening around you and creating a model so that you can reap the benefits.
Well, you know, that's right. You gotta study your surroundings.
Yes.
And whatever it is you want to do, get deep into it and know all about it.
Yes.
Because there's so much available to us. That's why I tell people, no one is, you know, Scheherazade Ali wrote a book called Are You Still a Slave? And she said this is a litmus test
Yeah.
for people who still lives like they have a master but don't. And are you, and that's something we have to, are we still, why do we live
Yes.
like we still need permission to do stuff?
Yes.
Like we still can't own nothing?
Yes.
Like we still need some kind of direction where I know the greatness in you is great enough to bring that out to perfection.
Yeah.
You don't need me to feed it to you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might just need me to show you something or inspire that ideal in you. And you going to go on your own.
Yes.
You ain't got to come to my churches, my temples, no nothing. Once you get it, I can watch you just go. You gone.
Absolutely.
And that's the whole purpose of it. I tell my brothers in the plant, while you in the plant, Save your money.
Man,
because you're
yes.
making money in that plan. Don't get caught up in the, I got to pay this now every week because just because you're making that don't mean you should spend that.
Yeah.
I tell my sisters who's making a lot of money, put that up. Because what happens is this, we get so attached to the money that when the money ain't there, we're not there mentally because it wasn't the money in the first place.
Thank
if
you.
you really dig where I'm going. It's rich people is mean, some of them, because they figure something out, Collette. They figured out it's not enough money. They figured
It's never
it out.
enough.
No matter what they got, it's never enough.
Hello.
You could have, let's just say this. Let's just say you had $1 million. Now, $1 million would last to somebody who know what to do with it.
Thank you.
It ain't gonna last long with a person who's gonna spend it. I was telling a brother the other day, I said, I had came out like 15 grand to get something started one time.
Okay.
And I said, I've been holding on to that money since 2008. And he said, but you ain't buy nothing over the years with it? I said, if I did buy something, it had to bring me some of my money back.
Thank you.
I said, if I go buy shoes, I ain't gonna get no money back for that. If I go buy an outfit, I can't get no money. If I got jewelry, MJ Diamonds is one of my sponsors, so I got a Rolex worth $68,000.
Nice.
I have a choker. You see me on Instagram with my choker.
What's your choker?
on.
I'm like, okay.
My
What's up
choker,
with the choker?
that they gave me, that is valued at $28,000.
Okay.
But I would never spend that kind of money on jewelry. You know what I'm saying? That's like why I couldn't phantom spending that kind of money on.
No, say
jewelry.
there. Now you could if you understood it as an investment because you just had a plethora of money and you said, okay, it's a gold watch based on the brand, or if it's the diamonds or clarity, those kind of things. So if you ever got into a jam, you could sell it. You can, you talk about precious metals, you're talking about commodities, but majority of us don't think that way.
Exactly.
Let me just say that. So if we thought that way, so for example, you're an entertainer. So I get that. We should, based on what you do, the image that you portray, you still need to own some things in that and or get sponsorship dollars. We have this tendency that we want everything, all these name brands, and I want to wear this purse, I want to have these shoes, I want to have this, that, clarity, this, that, but no one's giving you a check to endorse them. You're taking out all your money to spend on these folks and you're not getting an ROI, a return on your investment.
You got to.
So if you're sitting up here doing all this, I would implore you to go buy that stock. So if you like the red bottoms and if they're publicly traded, you need to go buy that stock.
That's what you told me. Well, I made a post and I was at Foot Locker and my son was trying to get the Kevin Durant. And I made a post and now my wife wants some.
Yep.
And I said, I'm in the store looking for some $180 pair of shoes. I don't even get down like this, right?
Yep.
And then you answered and said, why don't you go into the stock? Now, I didn't get the stock in the Durants, but it got me in the stock world, so I started playing with the Forex.
See what I'm talking about?
See, you inspired me.
I'm glad.
If you would have told me that, I wouldn't have thought about the stocks. I was just there because I was sleepy and I wanted them off my head.
Right, because they wanted to shoot.
They wanted. You see me on the video.
And
I was sleepy.
I was like, do you own
man,
the
I am tired.
right?
My son wants these KDs,
Yeah.
and I guess I got to get them or whatever. But it got me off into the Forex, the foreign exchange market.
Yeah.
We'll get off into all that one
Yeah,
time.
we
We'll take a
absolutely.
call.
Let's get to the line. But everyone, hello, meeting you right where you are, giving you a solution. Thanks for your patience. Great Friday to you. Are you there?
Oh.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I speak life into you guys.
Good morning to you.
I'm going to touch on 2 points. I currently am happily a homeowner. I am in a fixer-upper.
Woo!
And I'm living in my truth.
Homeowner.
I say no to things that I usually say yes to, but I'm living in my truth.
Yes.
That's what's up.
Yes. Congratulations.
I
How
have
you do
recently
it?
went to a couple of programs,
Yeah.
and they wanted me to refinance already to get the funding. And I said, no, that's a lien on my property. So I'm going to touch on the points that you guys said about financial literacy.
Yeah.
When we know better, we do better.
That's right.
But we also need to seek out help. The libraries, I go to the library 3 times a week just to make for sure that I'm on the right path. But I try to help around me, and I'm teaching my daughter. And that's the problem. When you send a rabbit to squirrel school and expect them to act like a rabbit and you're a squirrel, that's not going to work.
Right. Nice. Right.
That's what's up.
How about use that?
Yeah,
How about use that?
yeah. Put that on
we're
a
gonna borrow that
t-shirt.
right now. Right.
Yeah.
But I'm
yes.
saying that, and then the old cliche, well, if I'd have knew being what I know now, you have to start from today.
Yes. Yes.
My question to you all is, how do we get the fear out of our age group? I'm 45 plus.
Okay.
And they looking at me so foreign right now because I'm a homeowner. Oh, I wouldn't have bought over there. I wouldn't have this, and I wouldn't have did that. It's not about you. It's about me and what I'm doing. And it's about me making sure I leave a mark here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, here's what you do.
First of all, let me just thank you because you're a first-time caller. So I try to be mindful of voices. So welcome to the show. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we congratulate you on being committed to doing something that gives you a legacy.
Hashtag you are awesome.
Absolutely. So first of all, thank you so much for that. Now, second, and I'm going to let 6'4" jump in. I'm 45 as well. Ding, 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 ding. So at the end of the day, right, 45 is still, we good now. I'll give my opinion, but I want you to talk about, to her question.
Well, I'm 44.
Okay, yeah,
so
you're a little, right.
Y'all my
well,
big sisters. Y'all my big sisters.
Right.
Here's what we do as a people, because see, the 45, the 46, the 43, the 44, we came from some damn good stock.
I believe so.
You know,
we
don't have no reason.
Right.
Because our parents wasn't teenage mom and dad. Our parents, a lot of our parents, like in the 60s, they were together until that white woman's liberation crap came in. But we know what it's like to come up under two parents.
Yeah.
We know what it's like to do and practice sane thinking because our parents made sure that we practiced that.
Yes.
So as we grow, we need to stand strong on that and never waver from them principles that brought us through.
Yes.
Because I see a lot of parents that's my age who did not let their parents' teaching go to their children.
Yeah.
They got to the point where this is my child and I'm going to do. No, you stupid.
Right.
You go back to what your parents taught you. You don't know nothing.
As long as it was good with what your parents, right? As long as it was good at what your parents taught you.
I got this. I tell people this: if we such good parents, why is the motor rate so high? Why is James H. Lincoln full of black young men if we such damn good parents? Somebody ain't listening to what they was taught. My mama told me at 8 o'clock everything in the damn house is off.
8 o'clock.
A phone ain't gonna ring.
Right.
You better ask if you got to go to the bathroom.
Right. Structure.
We
discipline.
who know that cannot be fearful to exercise that.
Yeah.
Like when I meet the young bloods, I tell them straight up, man, you wrong.
Okay.
Brother, let me explain to you this.
Okay.
Because I cannot have you going forward with that. If nobody ever told you today, you heard it from me, you wrong, but this is where you can get right.
Yes.
See, that's what we do.
Yes.
This is where you can get right.
Right.
We don't ostracize. We don't cut people off. We stand firm on what we know to be right.
Yes.
I told my nephew, I said, I ain't like school neither.
Right.
But you better love the fact that you got somewhere to go.
Right.
Go, get out of this house. Because if you stay in this house all day, you're going to get in trouble.
Yep.
You're going to start hanging out with people who just hang out.
Right.
You go to school to learn the experience, the social, what I call the most biggest social experience you can put any child into.
Yes.
Because for 8 hours a day, he is congregating with the future doctors, lawyers, pipe fitters, welders, senators, state reps, all in his classroom. Yes. He's in the future. I don't know if you look at it like that, but your fourth grader, that's the future.
Yes.
Your fifth grader.
And stay there, and no matter what that future is, they're in it. So either you can shape and mold it to go one way, or it's going to go the other way. Now, she makes a point, and it's interesting, especially for women. Let me just say that. So women, when I got my first property, it was 2008, and I share everyone. I was talking to my girlfriend on the line. She's out in New York, and she was looking at a Louis Vuitton that she was going to call the buyer to get. It was $2,500, and I saw a house for $2,000. And I said, okay, you go buy that bag. I'm going to go buy that house. So a lot of it is that you perhaps might be that shining example to the folks around you. That they might have to actively see you do it, because a lot of times our folks don't really get it until they see us do it. So when I started buying my properties, I had family, all my folks are educators and professional people out in Texas, and they called, you couldn't buy a house for $2,000. I said, well, did you think I made it up? Well, we don't understand how you did it. Well, I did. You want to see the deed? You want to see pictures of it? You couldn't buy something like that? Yeah, I did. And I'm doing it.
All the negative.
And all the other stuff. So you might just need to stay strong in what you're doing.
That's right.
Know that everything around you, home ownership, is everything the way that you have done it. And don't feel pressure
That's right.
that you are under a clock to get it done. It's a fixer upper. That is a time afforded to it. So you grow. As long as you're in it, you got the doors, you're safe in it. You don't have to have everything completed right now.
That's right.
It is a process. Like life is a journey. And so when we understand that and take those pressures off of us, it gets better. And you know what? The area that you're in that people might question, there might be 2 or 3 other houses on that block you can buy. So you can change the dynamic of your situation by buying up what's around you at this point.
The power
so
to change.
The power to change. So maybe that point they're trying to get you to refinance. Okay, I might do that because I see 3 or 4 other houses on this
That's
block I
right.
can
That's
buy.
what I'm about to say. You
So
right.
you
That's
can,
how
so
you do it.
you
That's
change
how
it
you
for.
do it.
So if people, when your friends want to sit and say, well, why not over here? Guess what? You own this one, and then you own that one, and you own 4 or 5 of them, and then you let your friends rent from you. How's that? And then when they decide that they have the mentality to get it because you've shown them the example, then you can let them buy from you.
And keep pushing that library on people. I
Yeah,
love the
man.
fact that you said you went down to the library.
I love the
That-
library.
Oh
Shout
my
out to the
God.
library.
Man, you know,
I
that-
learned so much.
Yes.
I learned so much.
And that's why there's no reason to be for
house of
stupid
books.
kids.
Yes.
There's no reason your child shouldn't know nothing because we have one of the best libraries in the world.
And stay
right
there.
here.
And stay there. And for all of you who talked about this summer that y'all didn't have anything to do with your kids, the libraries are open. There's a library, a Detroit library that's open every day. You can take for free. You take your children, they have food
Computer.
there, they have computers there, they have movie series there. There is no reason why all these little kids, you riding down the street and everybody sitting outside on the stoop and no one's intellectually engaged in any level and you got a free library sitting right there.
And wonder why they can't articulate themselves. Look at the time that they're wasting
You're
doing
wasting,
nothing.
doing nothing.
And that library is very. Let me tell you, we go to the next call. I know you're at the top of your hour. Listen, when I fought my case in Warren, it was the library. I went to the library, and this pulled the veil off of a lot of law enforcement's eyes with the judges and stuff like that. My attorney kept telling me, Michigan compiled law says you're wrong. Michigan compiled law says you're wrong. That's that MCL that you see.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
I said,
Well, you know what? Stay right there. This is what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. Absolutely. We're at the top of the hour. Let me take a break. Let's do that. We're entering into our second hour. You're going to stay with us.
Yep,
And we're going to continue the cause. Caller, thank you so much. That's what we want. We want those kind of examples. You stay encouraged. We're here as a resource. So don't turn that dial because we got another hour of power. We'll be right back.